people will feel that they have our attention. But it's quite a challenge in a very distracting, in the world that we live in, notification, bing, bing on the phone. The phone is vibrating. The phone is, and as I was sharing with you the other day, that quite a lot of us sleep with our phones next to our bed. We don't even switch it off. How rested can we be when our phones are constantly on? Because, I can't, some people can't actually fully rest. They always have to have some noise going on.
And it's a dangerous thing. I mean, I'm just thinking of the youngsters. I'm thinking of this generation that have been brought up with a smartphone. Individually, before they become a couple, they have set their habits with their smartphones.
Yeah.
So what happens when they then come together? They are coming together as a couple, but at the same time, they are separated. Because they could be in the living room, to have a discussion, but each of them are on their smartphone.
That's true. That is true. And how can they develop their own relationship when they've already got a relationship with the phone? The phone is actually the partner. Sometimes.
Yeah. I really, my phone is permanently on silent. It's an advantage, it's a disadvantage, because in case I misplace it, if you call it, of course it will still ring, but so my phone is permanently on silent. And there are times when I intentionally leave my phone far away from me to have that break.
Yes.
From my phone.
Yes. And that's a very good practice, but it has to be intentional as well. Because everything says, no, I'm going to miss something urgent. The notifications are always coming.
Yeah.
And whilst there's a lot of advantage to be notified of things we've signed up for and so on, it can be a constant distraction.
It can be.
Because it can be urgent. And the way that a lot of the notification comes, you'll see it pop up. It'll have a very, just as we started, a very urgent looking title that your curiosity will be pricked.
Yeah.
because that's designed that way to catch your attention.
Oh yeah. Clickbait, they say.
Okay. I didn't even know there was a term for it.
Yeah.
So we've come full circle. You have to make a decision. What is important? What is urgent to you? What is urgent to them, it might not be urgent to you. The world is constantly trying to catch your attention. Is what they're trying to catch part of your plan? The attention, your attention. Is that part of your plan?
But if you're not intentional, how would you know? You just flow.
We just flow. And this is the danger of not having a plan. Other people will plan your time for you.
And this is why I'm intentional about watching the news.
Yes.
I'm very, very selective. I used to be, because I've been deemed a journalist and,
You need to know what's going on.
I need to know what's going on, but I've decided I do not need to know what's going on. What is important will come to me eventually.
Yes.
And if it's so important, I will catch it. So if it's there, and the first item is bad news, second item already,
my countenance.
Yeah, my countenance changes, and intention. I just I move away.
And that's an important point.
Oh yeah.
That the impact of other people's story. It's not your story. Is it your story? Somebody else's. The impact of somebody else's story on you. You have to be mindful, which is what you're saying, because other people's story is disturbing your equilibrium. You're not at peace because you've just heard. I remember the other day, just the talk of certain things, your imagination kicks in. You begin to see it and imagine it. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's very powerful. Very, very powerful. And this is how matters of the heart will be discussed?
Yes. The two things I've picked up from our conversation this morning is to be intentional about what you plan to do, so that other people's urgency or what they deem important doesn't eat into your plan. That's the first thing. And you can do that in a helpful way. And the second thing I'm picking up from this is to be intentional about being active with your listening and being slow to speak. Because when you listen actively to somebody, they sometimes create a solution to the whatever it is that they're trying to. Most people are not looking for advice, actually. They're just looking for someone to talk to. They don't really want your advice. They just want you to listen. Have you noticed?
Of course. And I've noticed that as well, that people come to you for advice. They want you to prefer a solution, but in the midst of you talking with them, they are so busy talking and providing a solution to their needs.
So what they really wanted was someone to listen to all their different scenarios to help them to now come to the realization of what they need to do. And that is something that you can train for that as well, Babashola. It's like I'm a trained counselor. I don't know whether I've told you that before.
Of course.
And when you listen, it's one of the what I call hard work, because in our minds we're processing what they're saying. Me, can't you see the solution to this thing? This one is simple, but to them, they can't see it. And that's why you are a sounding board, because what we're supposed to be doing is repeating what they're saying to them, helping them to say, okay, and opening up this, or have you considered that? Not say this is what you ought to do, because if it doesn't work out, they're coming for you because you gave that advice. Yes. So it's helping them, because what you deem as a potential solution to that situation, they might not be able to receive it yet because of where they're at that time. Yeah. You can imagine if I drank this morning and said, oh, Babashola, I'm not going to be able to make it at 8. You won't believe what happened. Such and so person called me. They said, their house is burning down. I have car, this and that. Of course, you'll empathize. But you'll be like, is she serious? And people are like that. They will make all the excuses, allowing other people to eat into their lives, because it's every single day somebody's eating into your life, right?
I got too many hoes. I can't hang you.